I feel I'm with you two here. I feel very, very connected to the two of you sat on the front row there. Is there a male energy? Would you understand, Father that's crossed to Spirit? Because he just comes in very close. This is your dad, I believe, in spirit. Would you understand that? Because he comes in and he says, for goodness sake, give her a message. Because it's almost like you've been waiting all the way through that, and you've been asking him to come through and asking him to come through, and he's not been able to make that connection to you, but he's here with me now. And he's a really assertive man, your dad, you know. I feel like he would have quite enjoyed having his say. He was quite straight talking kind of guy. Do you understand that about Dad? Would that make sense to you? At times. I'm holding on to my stomach and I'm not sure why that would be, but he feels that I've got problems here, or there have been digestive problems, but I feel really uncomfortable around that area. Is that part of his passing condition or part of the way he was feeling towards the end of his life? Do you understand that? Because it's really uncomfortable. I know that that's not what takes me to Spirit though. I know that I'm losing my breath, and I feel there must have been an ambulance involved with his passing as well, or some emergency situation around his passing as well. Do you understand that as well? I want to say to you, I don't feel I made it, or I wasn't conscious, because I don't see the hospital bit. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand that? No. Would you understand that after the ambulance service was there, there's a change within this gentleman, because I just feel different. I don't feel I'm as conscious as everything around me. It's the only way I can give it to you, if that makes sense to you. Do you understand it in that way? Okay. You look like Dad, or you look like Dad, and we don't often look like Dad when we're females, but he's saying you look like him. Do you understand that? I know I'm a very upright man, but I know that I'm quite a stubborn gentleman. I know that I would have been quite a tough man to work with, to be with. You know, he's a tough man for me to work with as well as he's coming through. But I feel that I'm right, and he was stuck in his rut when it came to things. It would be hard to shift his opinion. Do you understand that with him? I do want to say to you, I feel like I had a good head of hair as well, because he shows me a good head of hair, and he was quite proud of that actually. Are you right? Okay. But I'm just saying to him, and I'm just saying, did you lose your hair? And he goes, no, I've got a good head of hair. So understand it in that way, if it's not something he would have bragged about, but it's just how he talks about it. Is it two girls then, or there's two girls? Do you understand the two girls? Because he brings in the two girls. Would you understand that? You've got two sisters, all right. Okay, just brings in girls. Is it all girls then? No, okay. Who's got the two girls? Is one of the sisters got two girls?
No, my sister's got three girls.
Okay, all right. He wouldn't have known the third, but you understand, because he sends his love in that direction as well, all right? I know when I'm... Oh, okay. He's talking about, I don't know whether it's been somebody's birthday and they've had a bouncy castle and you've got all that kind of thing going on. Would you understand that? Sort of children's party with bouncy castles and things like that he's aware of. It's like a celebration a little while ago, but you understand, because I feel like he was there. I feel like he was there at the celebration. It was being spoken about. He's aware of that, and he was there. And there's children bouncing around. There's a bit of food there. It looks like a celebration. So he shows that to me. He's apologising to you because he didn't make life easy for you. He was a tough man to you, and he didn't always show his affection, and he's apologising for that, you know. And as he comes in, he finds this hard to say to you, because he found that hard to say to you when he was here on the earth. You understand that as well. And I know as he talks about his relationship with you, he talks about he found it hard to express his love to you. He really did. But I know that he did. I know that he did love you, but he said some terrible things. This is what he's saying to me. Do you understand that? And I know that your relationship with him would have been very, very wobbly. But it doesn't mean that your dad didn't love you, because he did. But it's just that he didn't always agree with everything that you were doing when you were here, when he was here. Do you understand that? But he understands now from the other side of life. He can see things around you. He knows that everything in your life, why you behaved the way you did, All right, because I don't want to say he thought you were a rebel, but I felt he'd feel that you were a bit of a rebel, or you would. Do you understand what I mean? And to him, you wound him up a bit, you know, because you're a bit of a rebel, and you'd step out of line and things like that. And he's just saying that he understands why you did what you did. All right, so just know that about your dad. I don't know if Snowy makes sense to you, but I've just heard that name being shouted. Okay, all right. Okay, did your dad buy the rabbit for you? Okay, oh, that's lovely. So he just brought that in, so I know that would make sense to you. Is Snowy in spirit? Okay, it's not a 100-year rabbit, but yeah. So I know it's unusual to say that he's got your rabbit with him, but he has. He's got Snowy with you, all right? Okay, and he just wants to bring that into your mind. Is there been health concerns around you then? Because I'm aware of health problems there with you, and I know we're in a public arena because I don't feel this is physical, but he's aware of that. So there's been some emotional stuff there, and he's been around you whilst you've been going through that. I want to say to you, coming out the other end of it, and that actually you're not in that, I want to say pit, because that's how it feels. You're not in that pit anymore. You've come out the other end, and you're in a much more positive place to where you were before. All right. I know there's a photograph of your dad. Have you just put one on the table earlier? No. Okay. Well, is there a photo of your dad on the table then? Would that make sense to you? Okay, because it just says it's on the table, so just understand it as that then. So that's what he shows me. I know it's in a frame. I know it's not big. It's quite a small photo, but he shows that. You understand that as well. It's not in a frame.
I was going to bring it, but I didn't.
Okay.
I
So I know that the dressing table you understand, but is there one in a frame as well, a small framed photograph as well? Would you understand that? Because I keep seeing a little sort of square frame photograph of him as well.
My mum's got one.
Your mum's got that one, okay. Because it's being spoken to, or she speaks to it. Because I know she does that. Do you understand that? Okay. Is mum in spirit as well? No. What's going on with you and mum then? Because I don't see you together. Do you understand that? All right. It's a horrible feeling when I get it, because I feel it all of a sudden. I don't feel you getting on, you know, I didn't feel she was around. That's how I felt. So she's just not around you. Does that make sense to you? Okay. All right. So he shows that to me, because I'm asking him why he showed me the photo. But okay. All right. So I know. Oh gosh, there's a lot of stuff there, isn't there? There's a lot of emotional stuff around you and your mum. Your dad's aware of that as well. But you know what? If he rubbed your heads together, it wouldn't make any difference, would it? Because you're both as stubborn as each other. You understand that? So he's not going to be able to change that relationship between the two of you. But he certainly wants to come through and let you know that he's aware of everything there that's going on with you and your mum. Okay. There are children around you. There's 3 children. Would you understand the 3 children? You're not sure what he means by that?
I've got 4. But
You've got 4.
I don't live at home.
Right. Is there 3 with you and 1 away?
3 at home.
Okay, all right. Because all he said is there's 3 children around you. That's what he says. So he didn't say that you've got 3. He says they're around you. So you understand that. Okay. But I just feel like you're being run ragged. I really do. I just feel that they run rings around you. That's what he's saying to you. So he wants you to toughen up a bit. Someone else wants to toughen up earlier, so a few of you could get together and make the toughen up group or something by the end of the day, but he's just saying you need to toughen up a little bit there. You understand that? Okay. Would you understand, was there a thing to do with fishing with your dad, or a connection to the fishing? Would that make sense to you?
That's my brother.
That's your brother, and he's in spirit as well, but he's here on the earth. Okay, and the fishing's very prominent around him, so you just know he's sending the love to him. He's emotionally not great then around your brother, so I don't know what's going on there. He speaks to mum though, doesn't he? Because I feel they're together. He doesn't. Okay. Oh. But there's obviously lots of problem segmentation there within the family from what he shows me, and he's just wanting to send his love in that way. I think because we're in a public arena, there's only so much he can tell me, and I feel if I dig, there'd be a lot that would surface with you, but he just wants to come through, let you know he's here, let you know he knows what's going on in your life. He's talking about, oh my goodness, okay. Have you done a Ouija board then? Would that make sense to you? That's your other son who's been doing the Ouija board. Because I don't normally see this, but he's obviously tried to make a connection to him. Do you understand that? So he's aware of that as well. So he wants you to know that. I wouldn't advise that to anybody who's in this room now, because they're not particularly safe. But obviously he knows about it. I want to say to you, your dad was around him when he was doing that to make sure he was protected the entire time. He's very lucky, because it isn't the bestest way of communicating with spirit. So again, take your dad's love. Know there's an anniversary passing or birthday in November that he gives me that I would know that would be very significant to you. Do you understand the November? You're not sure about the November? Okay. It might be the end of October that he's taking me to then, if it is not November. Would you understand it in that way? It's Robert's birthday, so take his love then, and I'll leave his love with you. Thank you for working with me. Thank you.